It was a chilly Friday evening in downtown Chicago. The streets buzzed with the usual crowd of hurried commuters, their faces glowing from the neon lights of nearby shops and restaurants. Among them was Emily, a young woman in her late 20s, rushing home from work. She had her earbuds in, headphones blasting her favorite playlist, and her mind consumed by deadlines, errands, and the long list of responsibilities waiting at her apartment. As she rounded the corner near a quiet alley, she noticed a man slumped against the wall, shivering under a thin jacket. His clothes were worn and dirty, and he clutched a small cardboard sign with shaky handwriting. "Need help. Hungry and cold. Anything helps." Emily's heart skipped a beat. She glanced at him, then quickly looked away. "I don't have time," she muttered under her breath and walked on, weaving through the crowd as if she hadn't even seen him, but the memory of that man lingered. She tried to shake it off, blaming herself with excuses. "He probably gets help all the time. It's not my responsibility. I can't save everyone." That night, as Emily lay in her warm apartment with a cup of tea, her conscience gnawed at her. A simple act of kindness, or the refusal of it, can sometimes ripple farther than we imagine. Before we dive deeper into Emily's story, make sure to subscribe to Kindness Story Hub for more real-life stories about the power of compassion. Don't forget to like this video if it touches your heart and leave a comment sharing your own experiences with kindness. Every interaction can make a difference, just like in today's story. Emily's day had been exhausting. The next morning, she set out for work, still thinking about the man she had passed. She tried to focus on her routine, but a nagging feeling followed her like a shadow. At lunch, she sat alone in the office cafeteria, scrolling through social media, and noticed a post from a local news outlet. The headline made her stomach drop: "Homeless man found unconscious on sidewalk, later hospitalized, community rallies to help." Her heart pounded as she recognized the photo. It was him, the man from the alley. He had been left out in the cold for too long, and his situation had escalated into a medical emergency. Emily felt a rush of guilt, mixed with fear and helplessness. She had refused to help when it might have made all the difference. Throughout the day, she couldn't focus. Her colleagues chatted about mundane office matters, but she barely heard them. All she could think about was how one small act of refusal had turned into a life-threatening consequence. She kept asking herself, "Why didn't I stop? Why didn't I help?" Later that evening, Emily decided she couldn't just sit by. She left her apartment and went to the hospital, hoping to see the man. She wasn't sure what she could do, maybe nothing, but she needed to witness the reality of her inaction. At the hospital, she was directed to a private room. The man was lying in bed, pale but conscious, a thin blanket covering him. When he opened his eyes, there was a faint recognition. "Hey. I remember you," Emily whispered, her voice trembling. I should have helped you yesterday. I'm so sorry." The man gave a weak smile, his eyes filled with understanding rather than anger. "It's okay," he said softly. "It's easy to forget that kindness matters. You're here now, that's what counts." Those words struck Emily deeply. She realized that while she couldn't undo the past, she could choose to act differently now. She began visiting him regularly, bringing warm meals and fresh clothes, talking and listening to him. Over time, she learned his name, Daniel, and discovered his story. He had fallen on hard times after losing his job and facing eviction. He hadn't asked for much, just a little human compassion. Emily's small gestures began to make a difference. Daniel's health improved, and he began to regain his confidence. Their friendship grew, built on empathy and shared understanding. Emily saw firsthand how kindness could heal wounds, both visible and invisible. She realized that the world is full of people like Daniel, struggling silently, waiting for someone to notice and care, but the story didn't end there. Inspired by her experience, Emily started volunteering at a local shelter. She met countless others who had been overlooked or dismissed, each carrying their own stories of hardship. She discovered that even simple acts, smiling, listening, offering a meal or a warm coat, could transform lives. Every interaction was a chance to make a difference. One day, as Emily was helping serve dinner at the shelter, she overheard a young woman talking about her own encounter with a homeless person. She could hear the hesitation in her voice, the internal debate: do I stop? Or just keep walking? Emily gently approached her and shared her story, including the regret she felt for initially ignoring Daniel. The young woman listened, eyes wide, as Emily explained how one act of kindness, or the lack of it, had the power to change everything. "It's never too late to do the right thing," Emily said. "Even if you've walked past someone before, every new moment is a chance to help." That moment reminded Emily of a crucial truth: kindness is not about grand gestures. It's about noticing the people around us, the small opportunities to make life a little easier for someone in need. Every smile, every act of generosity matters. As weeks turned into months, Daniel found work again and secured a small apartment. Emily continued to support him, but their relationship had evolved into something deeper, a friendship rooted in mutual respect, care, and gratitude. Daniel often joked that Emily had saved him not just with food and warmth, but with hope. Emily herself changed too. She became more mindful, more aware of the people she passed every day. She started carrying extra granola bars, socks, and water bottles in her bag. She learned the importance of small actions repeated consistently. One day, she noticed a young boy sitting alone on a park bench, clutching a backpack and looking lost. Instead of passing by, Emily approached him, offering a snack and a few kind words. That boy's smile lit up her day, reminding her that even tiny gestures can ripple far beyond what we see. Through these experiences, Emily realized that kindness is contagious. One person's choice to act compassionately can inspire others, creating a chain reaction that touches countless lives. Her initial mistake, the refusal to help Daniel, taught her a lesson she would carry forever: we may not always understand the struggles of others, but we can always choose to respond with humanity. Years later, Emily and Daniel often shared their story at community events and schools, encouraging people to recognize the impact of their actions. They spoke about empathy, compassion, and the courage to step forward even when it's inconvenient. They reminded listeners that everyone has the power to make the world a better place, one small act at a time. Emily never forgot the day she ignored Daniel. It remained a stark memory, a reminder of the importance of paying attention, of seeing the humanity in everyone. But she also cherished the journey that followed: the redemption, the lessons learned, and the countless opportunities to spread kindness. Her story became a testament to the truth that it's never too late to change, to make amends, and to act with compassion. It showed that even our mistakes can lead to growth and that every person we encounter has the potential to teach us something about empathy, humility, and love. In the end, Emily understood that kindness isn't just about helping strangers, it's about transforming ourselves in the process. By opening her heart, she not only helped Daniel but also discovered a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in her own life. She learned that the smallest decisions, pausing to help, offering a word of encouragement, or simply acknowledging someone's pain, can have monumental consequences. So the next time you see someone in need, remember Emily's story. Don't walk past. Pause. Offer a hand, a smile, or even just a listening ear. Your actions, no matter how small, can create ripples that change lives in ways you might never imagine. Kindness has the power to heal, to inspire, and to transform the world one person, one act at a time, and as Emily learned, it's never too late to make a difference. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments come from realizing our mistakes and choosing to do better. Every opportunity to act with compassion is a chance to rewrite someone's story, and maybe even our OWN.SO. Go ahead, be kind today. Offer help without hesitation, speak words of encouragement, and let empathy guide your actions. You never know whose life you might change or how your own life might be enriched in the process, because in the end, kindness isn't just an action, it's a way of living. It's the gentle reminder that every human connection matters, that every life is valuable, and that the world becomes a brighter place when we choose to care.